Hello, everybody. It's your favorite third of the Uncut version podcast. It's Ryan. I'm just doing a little intro to the video because this is a Noah and Nate episode. I'm not here this week. While you're watching this video, I am currently in Disneyland. So I just want to give a very, very quick summary of my thoughts of this week's movie, A Nightmare on Elm Street. I watched this movie earlier this week, and I ended up watching the whole series because it's a series of movies that, for the most part, I really enjoy. But let's talk about the first movie. First movie, horror classic. Nancy Thompson's great. John Paxton, I think is his name, who plays his dad. Or no, John Saxon. Sorry, John Saxon, who plays her dad, is great. Johnny Depp's great. Everybody's great. Robert Englund, Freddy Kreuger, classic, phenomenal, amazing. The only thing that sucks about this movie, kills are great, everything. You got the iconic blood spurty shot. You got everything. Great horror classic. Only thing that sucks about this movie, and I said it in my letterbox review, go check out my letterbox if you want to see kind of a more less concise thoughts than this. I'll also talk about this movie more on my on the October roundup. But this movie has a horrible ending. Wes Craven wanted to make it a happy ending, where originally it was all just a dream and everybody was alive, and so they kind of did that, but then Freddy came back at the end because the studio wanted that shit. Ending sucks. One of the worst horror movie endings I've ever seen, which is saying something because horror movies have a lot of shitty endings. But that is my thoughts on 1984's A Nightmare on Elm Street, directed by Wes Craven. Nate and Noah are going to give you a more elaborative view of their thoughts. Most likely, I haven't listened to the episode yet. I'm recording this before I go to Disneyland. So hopefully they don't shit the bed. Knowing them, they're both two very talented guys. They probably won't, but, hopefully not. But anyways, I will catch you guys next week for the October bad movie of the month, Jason X. I'm spoiling it here if they haven't mentioned it, and this is just my little abridge, saying what's up with you guys, catching up for the week, because I'm not going to be there. But anyways, enjoy what Nate and Noah have to say, and I will catch all of you guys next week. Peace.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Uncut version podcast. As you can hear, Ryan is not here doing the intro, and he's not going to be here at this episode, so it's just going to be me and Nate doing this. And the film we're doing today is A Nightmare on Elm Street, which is obviously a horror classic, continuing the month
so
before.
like Noah said,
and
even with
I
my
would
Jurassic
not be shocked if this
lack
is
of
easily
preparation for the Goodfellas episode,
shortest
I do
episode
expect
because
this
Ryan's
episode
not
to be
here,
much
and
shorter.
this is not a very complicated movie to talk about. So, I'm gonna give it to Nate now,
I watched
as
it
always,
right before I went to bed last night.
with the movie news for the week.
Regardless, I'll get into some movie news. Starting off with from Marvel production, there's a Silver Surfer project in production, which
So yeah, I barely
it's
prepared for
probably
this
going to be
episode,
another
by the way.
shitty
I just
MCU
watched the
show.
movie like 20 minutes ago.
The next Conjuring movie will come out on September 5th of 2025, which those are all right horror movies. I'm not a huge fan of them, but I'll probably still watch it.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, they're all right. The next Hunger Game project has begun filming and will release in 2026. And I actually do enjoy those movies, so I'll be watching that one.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen a single one of them.
Yeah, this one is going to be based off of the Hunger Games that Haymitch won. So, and I know the diehard fans of these movies have been asking for that for a while. So, I'll be excited for that, I guess.
It's been a while since I've seen since I've watched the Hunger
Lilo and
Game
Stitch,
movies.
the live-action remake, where Stitch looks like a horrifying monster out of my nightmares, is releasing on May 23rd, 2025. Yeah, I have nothing else to say about that. I'm not excited about that at all. Yeah, no thoughts on that. But of course, saving the best for last as always, a new Lord of the Rings movie has just entered pre-production. It will be called The Hunt for Gollum, which I believe it is based off of one of Tolkien's books.
Yeah,
and it will be one full movie.
No real thoughts
based
on
off
that
the
one.
book. And They're not splitting it.
Mhm.
Nope, it's gonna be one movie. One movie. I did enjoy The Hobbit though. The Hobbit series.
Oh, they're not gonna turn one book into a trilogy like The Hobbit, where they
No, it was
try
not
to make
great, but it'll be called The
no,
Hunt for Gollum,
don't pull a Hobbit and just make stuff up for like the
and
last
it's
two
going to be
movies.
based off of what Tolkien wrote. And I'm very excited about it
I
because
mean,
all of the Lord of the
it
Rings movies
started
are
off good,
fantastic.
but once they started making up stuff, especially in the
Yeah, that
final
was
movie,
all I had
it
for movie
wasn't great.
news. I don't know if it's being God. What's the director's name?
So just
I'm
stick
blanking on his name, and he's such an iconic
just
director.
stick to what Tolkien wrote. All right.
The Lord of the Rings director. What's his name? Yes, Peter Jackson. No, I. So what I was gonna say is I don't know if it's Peter Jackson
Mm-hmm.
returning for this, but it would be very, very disingenuous to do a Lord of the Rings movie and not have Peter Jackson be the director.
What, Peter Jackson? He's returned for this?
That's that's not terrible though. I mean, yeah, I'm get up for it. Andy Serkis. I think that might be his first directorial credit.
All right, I'm looking this up. So it says Peter
I
Jackson's
can't think of anything
producing,
else
but
he's
Andy
directed.
Serkis is going to direct. So that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I could get down for that.
All right, let's see. Let's see what the IMDb says.
Here, let me look this up.
Oh, all right. Any? I mean, I like the Venom movies. I know they're
Let's see. Is Andy
objectively
Serkis
not very
directed a
good
movie
movies, but
for?
I enjoy them.
He's directed a few. He directed
Yeah, they're fun.
he directed the second Venom movie.
But yeah, he will be directing this movie, I guess. So yeah, I'm actually pretty excited about that. Andy Serkis, the king of motion capture.
They're
Yeah,
kind of
that was all I
they're
had for
just
the this
they're
week's
bad
movie
movies,
news.
but they're fun to watch. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. So obviously, like I said, we're doing A Nightmare on Elm Street, and full disclosure, I did not prepare like at all for this. It was like midnight last night, and I was like, "Hold
I
on, we're doing an episode
I
tomorrow. I
just
should
posted it about
probably
5 minutes
prepare
ago,
something."
right before
But I
you
didn't
hopped
want
in
to
the
stay
call.
up till 2 watching this movie, so I went to bed and watched it this morning. So I don't really know where to start. I guess just like general thoughts. Like if you, I don't think Nate, you didn't even write a letterbox review. I don't think, or at least if you did, I didn't see it.
Yeah. So I
Okay.
yeah
So
yeah like we said, this is not going to be some cosmic
yeah, we can just kind of
um
go over general thoughts
deep dive
first,
into
and
the
then I
story
don't
of
know.
Nightmare
Maybe
on
I
Elm
could
Street. It's
go
going to be a very
because I still
basic
have the tab
episode for
open where I
us.
watch the movie, so I guess I could go like with a little plot
But
summary, and we can just kind of
I
like
mean,
talk
yeah,
about what our
it's a
favorite
horror
scenes were
classic.
and
I
stuff
mean,
like
that's
that.
pretty much all you really need to say about it.
It's kind of
The
like
kill scenes are really well shot. Robert Englund as Freddy Kreuger is absolutely terrifying, and I love the fact that in this movie he's not on screen a lot. I think he has in the hour and a half that this movie's runtime is, he probably has like 15 minutes of actual screen time. Yeah, if even. Yeah, and he's always it's always shot and he's really dark and you really can't see him very well. Yeah, I think that's just especially terrifying, especially considering that he attacks you while you're sleeping, which is an inevitable part of life. Like
if
you can't
even
really
that.
not
I
sleep.
mean, it's in
You can
some just
try,
really
but
brief dream sequences
you
and
have to
stuff.
sleep.
So
Yeah, yeah. But I really did enjoy watching this. The ending did suck though. We'll get into that later. I didn't like the ending, but yeah, that's pretty much my general thoughts.
yeah, it's maybe an important part of life, you know.
It legitimately might be one of the worst horror movie endings I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yikes.
Yeah. Yes, there's a lot of really
I
bad
don't think I've
horror
ever heard a
movies.
single person be like, "Yeah, I like the ending from Nightmare on Elm Street." Like, nobody's ever said that. There's not, and there's a lot of bad horror movie endings, so that's saying a lot.
Mhm.
Okay, so let me go to my letterbox. I think I said kind of the same things. I mean, Freddy Krueger, obviously iconic horror movie character, so terrifying. The concept of him just being able to kill somebody like in their dreams and stuff, it is something so terrifying. And it's just like you can never go to sleep because
Glenn,
if you go to sleep, you're
Glenn,
probably gonna die from this guy, and that's something
Glenn's an idiot,
very terrifying.
Glenn's an
So
idiot, but we
I really
forgive him
like
because we love
this
Johnny
whole
Depp
concept,
on this
and it's
podcast.
executed very well. And I think the characters, all the characters aren't that stupid, except for I think what's his name? It's Nancy's boyfriend, Glenn. Yeah, yeah. I should have just called him Johnny Depp. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But his character is stupid. Um, but the other characters are actually surprisingly like kind of smart, especially Nancy as a smart final girl, which is a first because a lot of them are really stupid. Um, You know, I've been
Yeah.
watching the Halloween movies recently, and even in the first Halloween movie, Laurie Strode's kind of an idiot, especially in the climax where she like leaves the knife on the ground like 3 different times for Michael to she's just basically begging to die in that climax. But we'll get to that in our Halloween episode. But anyway, yeah, so characters are actually
Yeah.
fairly smart.
I mean,
And
yeah,
I thought
it's
the
an '80s
acting was all
slasher
right.
movie,
Like
so I
in
was
some
you're
of
not
these like
expecting much, and
early
they passed the bar. So
slashers and stuff, the acting can be not great a lot of the time. But I actually thought it was pretty solid here, for the most part. And there wasn't outside of Robert Englund, there wasn't anything where I was like, "Wow, that's amazing." But you know, it was solid. It wasn't anything cringeworthy, which is nice. Uh, yeah. hmm Yeah. They didn't. It wasn't bad. So I've seen much worse. So I'll give it credit there. And so, okay, I do like the final act with the climax and how Nancy kind of confronts uh, Freddy Krueger up until the final 2 minutes of it or a minute of it or whatever. That's when it gets whack, but
yeah,
we'll get to that.
not his favorite. Shout out to
So
Thing.
overall, despite the trash ending, I still really like the
I
film. One of my favorite
no,
horror
it was
movies.
your.
It's not my
I
favorite,
do think it was awesome
but
how I was able to
still
pick a
very
horror
enjoyable.
movie
Still will
that
watch it
eclipsed
every
Halloween as your
October.
favorite horror movie.
It's a classic for a reason. Yeah, yeah. The thing is still number one for my horror movies at least.
Yeah. It is going to be a little weird having our horror episode without our horror expert on the episode, but
Yeah,
we'll adjust as necessary.
but in all honesty, like I don't really watch that many horror movies though, so I guess it doesn't say a lot. But I mean, I did give the thing like a 9.5, so that does say a lot, given it that high of a rating, I guess.
Yeah, man. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, that's
I will say
that's
though,
what
I
I was
think it's
saying. Like, I'd
hilarious
be
in
shocked
your
if this goes over like 40 minutes.
letterbox review that you said you would have given it a
But I
higher
think something
rating
that
if
would
it
be
wasn't
helpful
for
here
this
is just to.
stupid ending.
So yeah, I've got the tab of the movie open, so I guess it would probably be easy to just go through the plot a little bit.
He goes, just for starters, I absolutely love this movie. It would have been a
Yeah,
5 out of 5 stars,
I think
but
that
goddamn,
that's
does
what we
this
all kind
ending
of said. I
fucking
think that
blow
Ryne
chunks
also
hard as
said
hell.
that. Ryne was considering giving it like a 5 stars because he just watched it like
It
last week
is
or something. I think I
legitimately
remember
one of the
on
worst horror
Letterbox,
movie
and he
endings
was like,
I've
"Yeah, I
ever
probably would
seen.
give this a
And like
4.5 or
it
five
really
stars
does suck because we
for that
had The
horrible
Thing
ending."
2 weeks ago, which has one of the best horror movie endings I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I don't know, Hereditary's ending was pretty
yeah.
bad too, actually.
it indeed does blow chunks. All right.
Yeah, no, they're definitely like neck and neck.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Hereditary. We
Yeah,
just had a
I
bad
the
ending
only
with
reason I hate
Hereditary, but
Hereditary's ending
I
is
don't.
just because
It's
it
not.
didn't feel
I mean, I
built up
hated
at
it, but
all.
it wasn't
Same
as
with this
bad as
one.
this. I don't think. But I mean,
But at least with this one,
it's
like
pretty
it's a
freaking bad
slasher, so
though.
you're kind of
The more
expecting
I
the
think
villain to
about
win
it,
at the end somehow.
the more I think about it, the more I low key hate Hereditary's ending. But they're both trash. All right.
Yeah, it's a bad ending. It is a bad
Yeah.
ending. That's the but if the one knock on your movie is a bad 2 minutes at the end, like it's still a solid
I mean, I
movie.
guess, but like this one's still. It's so confusing how it happens, though.
Yeah,
Like my
yes, it
first time
is. It
watching it, I
is.
remember a
I
couple
won't
of years
deny
ago, I
that.
was so lost. I was
But
like,
at the
"Wait, what?
same time,
What the hell just happened?" Like,
if that's the one thing that's bad with it, like I can't
yeah.
really pick anything else out that I really hated about the movie.
It's a pretty terrible last 2 minutes, though.
Yeah, because you could very easily just stop watching the movie after um, Nancy defeats Freddy, and you wouldn't think twice of it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely nothing else I would really hate. I mean, there's obviously things that could be a little bit better, but it's not really anything that you would have like a problem with per se. So yeah, just make this movie an hour and 29 minutes instead of hour 31. Uh, okay, so just kind of going through the plot a little bit. So it kind of starts off with what's her name? Tina, I
I
think
think we see
is
his
her name.
claw.
She's kind of got this whole dream sequence with Freddy chasing after her, and yeah, we just kind of hear Freddy a little bit. Get hold on, look through. Do we even get a glimpse of him here? I don't know, maybe not.
She
Yeah,
wakes
I
up,
think yeah
grabs her
we
crucifix
so we
off the
do get a
wall,
glimpse
and
of
then
him
goes
with like
back
his
to
claw.
sleep.
But then Tina wakes up, kind of realizes it's a dream, and then is my thing gonna load here or what? What even happens after this? I don't even remember. My thing's selling. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, she does. Yeah. I was just on no, I was just on that part. I was just talking about like after that scene. Okay, so oh
Mhm.
yeah, this is where they kind of just talk about what happened with the dream or whatever, and then Tina or Nancy and Glenn are at Tina's
Rod.
house
His name's
and
Rod.
stuff, just trying to.
Rod.
They're gonna sleep at her house just because she's like scared because of the nightmare and all that, and then kind of a crazy moment where Tina and gosh, what's
Yeah.
it? Well, what's the whatever her boyfriend's name is? Are getting it on Rod
Yeah.
getting
I
it
would. I
on
wouldn't put up with that
upstairs,
level
right?
of disrespect.
And they just don't care. They are loud, and I think it's Glenn downstairs just
Yeah.
hearing
That
all of this
was.
wide
I
awake,
mean, again,
and
I get it. It's
pretty
eighties
rough moment
eighties
for
horror.
him.
Like it
I feel for
happens,
Glenn in
and
that
it's pretty
moment. Me
much a
personally, I probably would have just gone home at that point, but
a cliche at this point in eighties horror that somebody dies while they're
yeah,
doing the deed.
it's like, hey, come sleep over here, and then you're just gonna hear all this, bro.
I mean,
Kind of
hey, if
wild.
that's all that '80s slashers was, I don't think that that worked out pretty well.
No. Mm-hmm. 80s horror movies. Message is don't have sex as a teenager. Boom. It did not succeed. Anyway, so then Tina kind of gets another kind of dream sequence attack from Freddy, but this time Freddy actually decides to strike, and this is where she in a very brutal scene, um, where Rod and her are sleeping together, obviously, and then all of a sudden, um, all this blood coming out of Tina from seemingly nowhere, but we know obviously it's from Freddy in the dream. But Rod kind of freaks out and stuff. Tina dies from this, and Rod runs away, and it's pretty obvious to Nancy and Glenn when they walk in the room that's like, Rod's not here. Tina's covered in blood. I wonder what happened. But something I noticed though is that so from Stranger Things season 4, this is very similar to. They kind of take inspiration from this, where it's like the whole situation where Vecna.
But they actually did it well.
Like raises up.
This
Chrissy,
was done well. I just wanted
a very brutal killing of her, and that Eddie is framed for the murder, and he has to run away and stuff. So it's very similar to that with what Stranger Things did. So I thought it was cool to see where they kind of took inspiration from there. Of course. So
like I said, like this, I think this is objectively better. I just really like Stranger Things. From a subjective standpoint, Stranger Things did it better.
Yeah, they're both done well, but we can have our opinions about what was done better. But obviously this is the original, so.
Yes, I agree.
Well, yeah. Honestly, I would agree with that. As in, just like it's a more brutal scene, and it's more terrifying, especially with just the way that Chrissy was killed in that. But I still really like both. So I think both are very effective for their film or for their stories, I should say. All right. So then, Nancy kind of tells her dad, who is like the what is even his role? Is he the police? He's not the police chief or anything. He's like a police lieutenant. Yeah, that's what he is. I knew he wasn't the chief. So he's the police lieutenant. So kind of asks her questions and stuff, and Nancy just doesn't really not really sure what happened. So after that, Nancy decides to go to school, kind of get her mind off this.
Yeah,
but then Rod all of a sudden comes out of nowhere, tries to tell Nancy that he didn't do it and that he's trying to explain what happened. But Nancy's dad catches him right there, and Rod is going to jail. So that's tough for him. And then
the boiler room.
Nancy's kind of in class. She's not really paying attention. And then she dozes off, and that's where she gets herself into some trouble because Freddy's got another creepy dream sequence or whatever. And then Nancy's kind of in Freddy's little like lair or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. And she actually the boiler room, and she burns her arm on one of the pipe thingies or whatever. And so in the dream, and then all of a sudden, like when she wakes up from it, she wakes up from the dream, she freaks out. She screams in the middle of class, and then once she's walking out, she realizes that the burn is still there on her arm from when she was in the dream. So that's kind of the first sign that, to her that this stuff might actually be real.
There was 5 different quote unquote haunted houses in it, and one of them was the movie room, or the movie house, where it was you'd go through all these iconic horror movies. It started with Scream, did Nightmare, Friday the 13th, all that. But at the very end of it, right before you get chased by the chainsaw guy, you have to go through Freddy's boiler room. And the first time I saw this movie, I was I don't see what's so scary about it. And then I was not there, but I was there, and I was like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah. Actually, I got a really funny story too. So I was about probably 7 years old, right? And my dad was about to watch this movie with me downstairs before my mom literally came down, saw that we were about to watch this movie, and she was like, no.
Yeah, I wouldn't have slept for days.
My dad was just like, yeah, you're all good watching this. It's cool. Mm-hmm.
Shout out mom, but
Imagine just
shout out dad
7
too.
years old, and then all of a sudden, like, especially that was at night too, and I would have gone to sleep right after that. It's
Yeah,
the worst type of
it
movie
was
to go to
lore.
sleep after when you're 7
It was
years
just
old.
Noah lore.
Yeah, so mom was definitely looking out for me, but also hilarious from dad. Yeah, it was just a character building moment for me, you know, if I watched this movie. Hmm. Yeah. Okay, so then Nancy goes to talk with Rod when he's in jail, and Rod again denies that he killed Tina, and just
The,
still
the
doesn't
one,
really know what happened.
excuse me. The one thing about this is like Freddy has
And then
so
Nancy kind
many
of
opportunities to kill
has
Nancy,
another
and he
little
just
encounter with
doesn't.
Freddy when she's taking a bath, and all of a sudden she kind of starts to drown before she
Like I get it because that's what he did
snaps
with
out of
Tina
it
too.
again.
Like
But
it kind of showed
it's just
the
more
beginning of
Freddy
his character. Like he doesn't
terrorizing
just go
her
straight for the
and
kill.
stuff.
But at the same time, like there were so many opportunities, and he did with Glenn. Like he killed Glenn and Rod right away.
Yeah, he just
But
playing
the other
around,
two,
throws it kind of in a
like
silly,
he was
goofy
just like,
mood.
let me play with my food for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I don't. I know it's established in the later movies that it like he has
Hmm.
to feed off their fear, but this was the first movie. They weren't planning any of that other shit
Yeah.
in the future for the future. I mean, maybe
I
they
don't know. I
were, but
guess he just
like if
really
you've seen
wanted
the other
Nancy
movies,
to
it's
be
very
afraid
obvious that
for a
they
while.
weren't
But
planning for it.
yeah, that is a little.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty much what it boils down to.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Nancy just had plot armor. It's all right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, all right. So Nancy goes with Glenn, who's stupid. Um, Glenn goes to Nancy's room or whatever. Kind of climbs up like up on the roof or whatever, and does all that. And
Per
then
usual.
Nancy has this idea to just like have Glenn just sleep and Glenn watch her and make sure that she doesn't have one of these nightmares again.
Yeah, like
But
you
of course,
said, Glenn's an
Glenn is
idiot, but we
stupid, and
like
Glenn just goes to
Johnny
sleep right
Depp.
away. And while Nancy's having the nightmare and freaking out, Glenn does nothing. And Nancy's actually the one, yeah. And then Nancy's the one that has to wake Glenn up, actually, which is hilarious. Hmm.
R.I.P.
And then we see Rod in jail, and this is where Rod gets killed, and kind of Freddy makes it seem like it was a suicide with having him hang himself, pretty much. So then, Rod is dead. R.I.P. They have a funeral for him and all that. And then the mom is kind of just like, "Oh, we need Nancy to get some help," because Nancy's kind of telling her parents about what's happening. And of course, it's kind of the thing where it's like, "Oh, she's just crazy" or whatever. So they get her into like some like place where they study how people sleep or whatever, some like sleep disorder place or whatever, some institution like that. And then
Right.
so Nancy, obviously, once again, another encounter with Freddy, and this time she pulls
Yeah,
out Freddy's hat from the dream, and also got cut
like
like
oh,
on
there's
her
this
arm.
random hat from this
Uh,
dead guy. She must have
and
brought it
so
with
it's
him.
something
Like
that they
obviously,
can't really
like
explain
what
right
else?
now, but
Like think,
they're still
of
just trying to
course,
say that
she would
Nancy's
think that they
crazy and
brought it
that she
with him.
brought the hat in with her or whatever. But you can't really blame him, because it's like,
Yes, of
when you're in
course, it's
that
from the dream
situation,
world.
what
My
else would
bad.
you think? Because yeah. Mhm. No, bro. She just brought it out from the dream, bro. Obviously, how could they not realize that? So then, Nancy kind of is back home, and then Nancy's mom tells Nancy about who Freddy
Yes,
actually is.
we know that it's a cat.
And Nancy's mom actually had like an encounter with him when he was actually not in people's dreams and actually like a real person or whatever. And talks about how he's dead now and that Freddy can't hurt her. But we know this is Cap. But anyway.
It's all right.
So then Nancy and Glenn kind of talk. Once
you.
again, Glenn is stupid. He's not loading too good here. Trying to like just scrub through the tab a little bit. It's kind of selling now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are barred up.
Yeah,
they're actually barred up.
We got time. Oh yeah, so Nancy's kind of wanted to go, but Nancy's locking her in or something. Kind of got like the windows barred up or whatever, or not barred up, but like, I mean, actually, I kind of like that. Yeah, barred up. Yeah, they're actually barred up. Yeah. So Nancy's mom is very serious about Nancy getting some sleep. So much so that she is barring up the windows. And so
yeah, I do like
and
that.
I think Nancy was trying to
the
call
dad
Glenn,
or Glenn's
and
dad is just like, I've had enough
Glenn
of this
fell
garbage.
asleep, of
Just
course,
hang
because
up
he's
the
Glenn.
phone.
And the parents kind of hung up on Nancy on the phone. The dad thinks Nancy's all crazy and stuff, and it's just like, yeah, we're not letting our son speak to this girl anymore. So then. Well, not.
Yeah,
dude is just like,
he dies.
It's Nancy. Yeah, Glenn's asleep. Call him tomorrow. And then he hangs up the phone and he's just like to his wife, "You just got to be firm with these kids." So, but this turns out to be a big mistake as Glenn dies, obviously, because he fell asleep. So, for, in a pretty brutal way, he gets sucked into the bed. And
that
so
scene,
much
like
blood
that scene
comes
is
out,
really
man.
well. That seems really well done.
Yeah, it's a very
But like,
brutal.
I have no idea
killing right
from
here.
watching
So,
it whether or not the
quite the
parents are
thing
actually
for the mom to
seeing
walk
the
in
blood
on. All of a
spew out
sudden,
like we
just like you
did,
see
or if
blood
it's
pouring
just
out of a bed.
like how we
your,
saw
your
Tina
son's
die.
bed,
Because
nonetheless.
there's no explanation whatsoever. Because when you're in the dream world, it's not mimicking perfectly what's happening in the real world. But Freddy can only attack in your dream, and that's when he sucks him into the bed. So we have no idea whether the parents actually see Glenn dying like that, or if it's just Glenn dead.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean.
Right.
I mean, I think I'm pretty sure they do
That's fair.
because
That's fair.
like just when the police arrive and stuff, like there's blood dripping like from the ceiling, and they got a bucket collecting blood that was dripping up or dripping down from the ceiling. And just judging from the mom's reaction, also I think is pretty real.
There's no.
And also, I like the part where it's like the ambulance and all that arrives, and they got a stretcher out there, and then some dude just like, you don't need a stretcher, you need a mop. Just like because I find it funny, especially because that's what I was about to say.
Nancy's
I was like, what do you need a stretcher for? There's no
Nancy's
body.
mom is an alcoholic.
Like, but yeah. So of course, Nancy's mom loves her vodka. That's something that's apparent here in this final act.
Yeah, Freddy likes to beat around the bush when it comes to Nancy.
Yeah. So then Nancy, of course, another confrontation with Freddy. Freddy's just when is he gonna kill her already? Like, come on. Yeah. So they kind of have their whole final confrontation and stuff. Nancy's kind of set some of these traps where eventually Freddy gets set on fire. And so the dad and some of the other police officers and stuff come to the scene, but Nancy's mom gets killed in quite a brutal way, where Freddy's on fire. Then they both like get under the covers and stuff, and then we see Freddy disappear, and then the mom's body, which is pretty messed up, to say the least. We're gonna keep it at that. Yeah. So another brutal image from this, and then Nancy sees Freddy again. And this is where we get to the ending. So Nancy's kind of realizing that
terrible ending happens.
That it's just a dream or whatever, and that Freddy's not real, and just trying to overpower him that way. And eventually, so it seems like she does do that, and then
the door.
It's like wake up with everybody still alive, and then all of a sudden,
it's very obvious that it's some sort of like mannequin
Freddy's
that they pull through the
back,
door.
I guess, and
they didn't try to hide it at all.
Where the
this
mom
was a
gets,
very late,
like taken
addition
into the door or whatever, stuck through the door. It looks
very
horrible.
Obvious that they had.
It is.
They didn't plan for it at all
awful.
because the special effects throughout the whole movie they were pretty good, and then there was that which was just jarringly bad.
No, man, that was definitely the actress. Come on now.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like they added this in like 2 weeks before release, where it's like, oh wait, we got to set up some sort of sequel.
It's pretty bad.
Let's shoot the scene and put
earlier,
it in.
if the one knock on the movie is just a bad ending, like I can deal with the bad ending.
I'm looking over
I can't
the
deal with
scene
the
again.
bad
I'm just
movie
watching
that
the part where the mom gets sucked into the door. Yeah, that's awful. That's horrible.
Make sure you.
Yeah. But it definitely is a taint on this, because I mean the ending can be there can be such great endings. I mean, like again, I've been watching the Halloween movies. I'm gonna watch 4 or 5 tonight, maybe. We'll see if I get around to it. I'm getting to the horrible part of Halloween movies, but the first one, I mean, it's the thing that makes me love that movie so much more, even, is just because of how good that ending is, where Michael gets shot and then all of a sudden he disappears, and just the look on Loomis's face.
Pretty soon.
That just shows how it's like how much it can help a movie. So it is a bummer that this didn't end in a great way, because it could have propelled it to being on the same level as Halloween for me.
Scream's my favorite horror franchise. I would absolutely watch that if you can.
I'll probably just watch at least the first one this October. I don't know if I'll get into the other ones because I'm watching the Halloween movies. So
he is a better man than me.
Maybe next year I'll go on the Scream franchise or whatever. Yeah.
He just really
I think
likes.
Ryan's watching all the
it's not
Nightmare
that good.
movies, so
he just really likes it.
Maybe someday I'll do that, but yeah, I haven't watched a single Nightmare sequel. So he did say 3 is really good, so maybe I'll just watch 2 and 3.
3 is kind of like the start of the downfall of the Nightmare series.
Okay, but is it like at least worth watching?
It's not terrible, I guess. I mean, I guess it's got. I haven't watched 2 since
Letterbox. It can't be
like
that bad.
2016.
But then again, it's Letterbox.
Yeah, I haven't watched 2 since 2016, so I don't remember it finally.
Doesn't 2 kind of suck? I can't
give you an accurate, like, yes, it's bad, yes, it's good, because I just haven't seen it in a while.
It's got a 2.8 on
Ryne, because
Letterbox.
Ryne
So
loves
it's
horror
probably
movies and he kind of
at least
glazes
most
them a
people
little bit.
like it.
So let's see what Ryne rated it as. 3 stars. It was just so the
No.
Mousetrap. For those that don't know, the original Mickey
Ryne
Mouse
gave part
cartoon
number 2 a
entered
3
the public
stars.
domain in 2024.
The
So
movie
just
Ryne
like how
watched
there was
before he
that
started
really
the Nightmare
terrible
movies
Winnie the
is
Pooh horror movies, they
the
made one for
Mousetrap,
Steamboat
which he
Willie,
gave a half a
and that's
star.
exactly what the
What
Mousetrap
is
is.
this, bro?
It's Mouse in Time. Ryan's Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 review starts with, "This movie was really weird. It is commonly considered one of the gayest horror movies of all
Well, I'm
time."
reading the
And
reviews on
yeah,
that.
I don't
One of them,
disagree one
it's
bit.
Mouse in Time. Oh boy.
I don't know. I genuinely don't remember. Two
Wait, why is
in
it
his
one of the
in his
gay?
Nightmare
Wait, is
3
there like a
review, he
gay
says,
couple in this? Wait, it's
I'd
1985. No
only
way,
seen
there's like
Nightmare on
a
Elm Street 1 and Nightmare
actual
2, and in
gay
parentheses he
couple or
goes,
anything. Is
"Gays
there?
Gone Wild." So it must have some sort of gay relationship in it.
One of the gayest horror movies. Okay, look.
Yeah, very progressive of them.
Maybe it just says gay and as like an insult somehow, or maybe it actually is.
Yeah, and then his ratings just get progressively worse as the series goes on.
I'm shocked for a movie
So
from 1985.
New
Okay.
Nightmare is actually pretty good. So what they did with New Nightmare was they took some of the actors from the original Nightmare,
But
but
yeah,
instead of playing a
Freddy's
character,
Dead: The
they just
Final
played
Nightmare is
themselves, and they
a
were
star and a half.
going against
But
Freddy like in the real
New
world, like
Nightmare
not
is
in the
3.5
movies.
stars.
And I
This
thought it
is
was actually pretty well done.
1994. Wait,
Yeah, it's a meta movie. It's what Wes Craven does, because Wes Craven did most of the Scream movies too, and those are pretty much the definition of meta horror. I really enjoy. I enjoy New Nightmare. I would recommend that one.
actually sounds kind of cool. Yeah.
And then they made Freddy versus Jason in
But
2003.
I'm shocked. So that's made in 1994. So wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They made. Did they make 7 Nightmare movies in 10 years, or whatever it is? Why? Yeah. So
Okay, there's a lot of those ones. Hold on, let me look it up real quick just to get
so the
an
original
accurate
Nightmare is in
number.
'84. Yeah. Next one's in '85. Then the 387. 4. Why do they pump out horror sequels so quickly?
It
It's like
is
the Friday the 13th movies, where it was like for 5 straight years they made a Friday the 13th
6
every
straight
year.
years with a night. Or sorry, they skipped 83.
How did they?
So
How did they even
1980,
do that?
81, 82, 84, 85, 86.
Nah. Be here at the. When are we doing is the
Yeah,
Jason
that's
X episode
bad.
next week?
That is
Oh
bad.
shoot!
Then they did 88,
We get the
89,
Jason X episode
93,
next week. Let's
02,
go.
03, 2009.
Oh, that's crazy. How did they even do that?
Yeah, 2 of the worst Friday the 13th movies.
They made 10 movies in 21 years.
I am
Or actually, wait, we can make that even better with 9 movies in 13 years, really. Because there was an 8-year break between Jason Goes
I
to Hell and
I cannot
Jason X.
I cannot explain how excited I
What
am for
is,
you to watch Jason X.
what even is that mask for Jason X? What is this? I've only seen a couple Friday the 13th movies. The first one's kind of sucks.
I can't say anything else. You just have to trust me that
I'll
it's going
always
to
be
be
a hater
so
of that
funny.
one, but
it is going to be one of the funniest
what is
horror movies
this?
you've
I'm
ever
looking up,
watched.
why is he completely buff and got this stupid mask right here?
It is.
Did he take steroids? Why is he in space?
It is. It is great. It is so great.
What the hell is this?
I think so. This movie had a
Dude,
budget
I'm
of 14
laughing
million
because
and grossed
this
17
mask looks
million.
so stupid, and he's like super buff. What happened? Did everybody involved with this movie just take a bunch of cocaine before making this? Oh boy. How? This looks like it was
That is
made for like
exactly what happened.
$2. This looks like a knockoff thing. This looks like some like what you would put together with
Yeah,
just things
get
around
ready
your
for
house,
that.
like
That's
some
gonna be
random
fun.
mask you found, and say, "Oh, we're gonna make a Friday the 13th
I'm
movie, and this is Jason's new
I
mask."
sound very sarcastic, but I'm very excited for Noah to watch this movie for the first time.
All right. Anyway, we might be deviating a little too much from the actual movie. So yeah, that's a
No,
little
it can't,
prelude
but it's
to
still very
the
good.
next episode.
Apparently, there's a a 35-minute short film called Freddy versus Ghostbusters.
It could. Could it possibly beat The Room? The answer is no. Nothing beats The Room.
Okay, a little side rant here. At least The
Yeah, we're
Room
kind
and
of
Jason X are going to be funny to watch, though. Going Overboard as a comedy failed at the one thing a comedy is
we're
supposed
kind
to
of on a
do, and that's to make
generational
you
run of
laugh.
bad movies
I didn't
going on
even goddamn smile
with The
during that
Room,
movie, let alone laugh.
Going Overboard, and then now Jason X.
Yeah, like a lot of these movies we'd be like, oh yeah, they're bad, but they're enjoyable because they're funny. Like they're unintentionally funny. Going Overboard was just bad.
Uh,
Yeah, and
I
I
smiled at
found this
one
out
part.
after we did
That
the
was about it,
episode, so
though.
little throwback right here. But so when they were casting for Going Overboard, what they did was found Adam Sandler in a comedy club. They just
Yeah,
found him.
because it's a comedy that just
And
fails to
like the
be
director
funny.
of this movie walked up to him after and was like, "Hey, you want to star in this movie? We're gonna be on a cruise ship for 6 days." And Adam Sandler just said yes. Oh my god! The more I learn about Going Overboard, the funnier it gets. All right, but that was Nightmare on Elm Street, guys. Talked about that
I
movie
mean,
for a
that's pretty.
solid
Yeah, too.
20
I get to be on
minutes
a
in
cruise
this
ship for
45
six
minute
days and
episode.
get paid for a movie. Shoot, I'm in. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we said at the start. There's only two of us today,
Yep.
so we don't really get that extra time with that third person. But it's also
Maybe
not
more
a
like
very
25
costly
or
movie.
30.
It's
Actually,
very
we
simple
started
80s
recording at
slasher movie.
1:42. Okay, you know what? I'm actually impressed with the time we made. I was worried it was going to be like only 30 minutes or something. So yeah, that's what we got.
All right. Yeah, so for me, it's like I said, it's
I
super
was kind of
solid.
hoping to make it
Super
longer than
solid. The ending
Goodfellas,
did
so I could
suck.
say I made a
We
longer
talked about
episode
that.
than you with two people.
I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd. Gave it an 8.3 out of 10.
Yeah. All jokes
Super
aside,
solid
though,
80s
overall,
slasher movie. Like
let's get to our
I
final
watch it every year.
scores and
It's
stuff,
fine.
and then we'll be
It's
done.
perfectly fine. He's adding the thing to his list
So
now.
we actually have the exact same score. I also gave it an 8.3 out of 10. So we are in
That's
in
true.
complete agreement here. Yeah, I mean, It's one I gotta watch every October, along with Halloween. Those are the two movies I always go back to every October. Very solid. The thing will be added to the
Totally
list
valid.
of that.
Totally valid.
Absolutely. I mean, that's not really a movie I have to watch like in October though. It's like it would be something I can always watch like out of season. So because it's not really exactly related to, I guess I don't know. It just doesn't feel like more of a Halloween season movie.
If
really,
it had a better
it's,
ending,
takes
I
place
would have
more in
given
the
this
winter and
probably
all
a
that.
9 or higher.
Yeah. But
hey, Ryan.
yeah, overall,
Welcome
so
to the
8.3. Freddy
Welcome to
Kreuger,
the end of the
absolutely iconic
episode.
villain, and really liked the movie. Just wish the ending wasn't so terrible.
Oh, he had to get we had to certify this as an uncut good movie.
I agree. I agree that it's a really good movie.
But hello.
Hey, what's up?
Wait, hold on.
Hi.
Did we meet our quota this week?
You're a little late.
No, I don't think we met our quota.
No, yeah, I came in just to give this a certified good movie.
Okay, yeah.
I read your reviews for the other Nightmare movies, and I think those might have helped us reach our quota.
Yeah, I saw the bat signal up in the sky at the beach, and I knew my time.
Yeah.
The Ryne signal.
About 2 and 3. The gayest
You guys
horror
not
movie
meet
of
your
all
quota?
time.
That's true.
Wait,
Did you
Freddy
just read
Kreuger
them?
does? Freddy Kreuger does.
The one about about number 2 being super gay.
Freddy Kreuger.
Let me ask you, why is number 2 gay?
No.
And then in Nightmare 3,
There was literally
it
like
says
a
I'd
gay
only ever
bar
seen
where he makes out
Nightmare on
with
Elm
some
Street
like
1
a
and
leather
Nightmare
dude,
2,
like a
and
dude
then
wearing
in
leather.
parentheses, gays gone wild.
It's literally like a gay movie.
Wait, Freddy Kreuger's gay?
No, that like the Freaky Kreuger. No.
Gays gone wild.
It's so bad. There are like probably like in total airtime. There's probably about 4 minutes of total time where you just see this dude's junk just
What
in his underwear. Just the
We'll put that at the start of the
stain
episode.
on
Just,
it.
no.
Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
I'm not watching Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Yeah, you are. It's gonna be our it's gonna be
All
my
right.
movie
Well,
next year.
good. Do you want to hit us with the outro real quick while we're wrapping
Just
up
pull
here?
pull out the Vader clip from Revenge of the Sith. No.
Less. It's 48 minutes
I'm gonna
right now.
protest. I'm not gonna say
all right, boys,
anything the entire episode.
All right, boys, I gotta go
Yes.
talk to some baddies on the beach.
That's a good chunk of the runtime. Talked about it at the beginning and at the end of the episode.
We gotta make this episode longer than
Sure.
Goodfellas. Come on, we gotta think of something for 10 more minutes.
Have you guys only been going for like an hour?
Yeah, because we
Whoa.
yeah, come on.
That was
literally.
Did you guys talk about how
a
shitty the
lot.
ending was? I love the part where Freddy Kreuger pulls the
All right, Ryan.
blow
hit us with the
up
outro, Ryan.
doll through the window.
that was the real actor. Come on.
All times. She's always strapped.
Elite special effects work right there.
Nancy's
We talked
alcoholic
about that
mom.
too. Nancy's always got.
Yeah.
Nancy's
Ryan
mom's
decided
always got that big
Ryan
bottle
decided
of
he gets
vodka
to
with
take
her.
a vacation during the uncut version recording schedule.
She always got a fifth of vodka on her.
Yeah, how dare he?
All right, boys.
I am also
thank you
going
for
on
coming out to the
vacation next month,
podcast.
though,
Thank you
so-
to Nate and Noah for actually doing this episode while I'm rizzing up some bitches on the beach.
But we'll.
So
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, how dare he?
I'm taking another one next month.
How dare you?
All right. All jokes aside.
Wow. See, I'm the only one that takes this podcast seriously.
Didn't you go on vacation before either of us?
We are so excited for Jason
about
next.
the schedule.
Yeah.
We
Thank you
just
guys for
made the
listening in,
podcast
and
right when I made vacation.
get ready for Jason next. Make sure you watch Jason X.
All right, all right. Thank you for everybody for coming out. I'm sure these two men did a wonderful job today, and we will catch you all next week for Jason X.